We have Kevon Edmonds, we've got Keith, and then we've got Danny here joining us from After 7. Such an honor to be chatting with you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
During the quarantine time, obviously you have a lot of free time to go through like old stuff that you have in your house. And I found all these VHS tapes because I was a little kid when the first album came out, and I recorded all these videos from MTV and Friday Night Videos, and Can't Stop and Ready or Not were always on every single episode. And it just brought me so much joy to, to hear those songs, especially in the context of the early 90s.
Right.
Did you think this many years later that those songs would still be bringing people so much joy?
We had no idea. I think we believed that they were classic songs, and when something's a classic, it's supposed to be able to stand the test of time. But in the way that is giving people joy and just still resonates with people nowadays, we were clueless. We were recording those songs in the moment, and it felt good then. We had no idea that some 30 plus years later, those songs would still have a place at radio and in the hearts of our fans.
Kevon and Keith, I guess, Keith, let's start with you. What is it about the Midwest and, the iconic sound and, what it means, especially to come play in Chicago and your fans in Chicago? I mean, the markets are so close, and you guys mean so much to, to our city.
Well, I mean, we've spent a lot of time in Chicago as the group After 7. Actually, I think our first lawyer was in Chicago when we first signed. We worked with him to help us sign the first deal. But at that point, we had been spending a lot of time. I was living in Chicago, honestly. I lived there for 9 years out in Oak Park. But after the After 7 experience began, I flew out of Chicago to Los Angeles. So Chicago has some deep roots for us, being up the road from Indianapolis, even though, we were born and raised and bred in Indianapolis. Chicago kind of dripped on us in a big way. And then after the success of the first album and touring, we went out with MC Hammer. We were coming to Chicago performing at the Erie Crown. We played at so many venues in Chicago because we played with Whitney Houston. We played with the Whispers, Regina Belle. I mean, we would come into that city 7-8 times sometimes in a year. So there's some crazy fondness for Chicago and the relationship that one song that we had called One Night, man, that's a Steppers record, and the Steppers in Chicago wore that record out. So, it is fun when we think about Chicago.
100%. And then Kevon, what about for you?
No, Keith almost has said it all. I mean, Chicago was the big city up the road from Indianapolis.
Yeah.
So if something was popping or hot, it was in Chicago, and so that's where you wanted to go if you wanted to get into something for real. But when we were in After 7, there was I can't think of the name of this theater. We performed with Smokey Robinson.
The Regal. Yeah.
So
the South Side.
There's the clubs. The Park West, I believe, is a place. I don't know if
yes,
I'm old enough to know anything about that. But anyway,
Park West is still there.
Is it? It is.
Yeah, Park West. Yeah.
Yeah, we got kicked out of the place. But anyway, that's a story for another time. Anyway, great history there in Chicago. We love Chicago. Chicago's shown us so much love. So it's always great. We're actually looking forward. I think it's October 22nd that we'll be there, and we're really excited and anticipating to have some nice, close, intimate performances for those people in Chicago.
Oh, exactly. And Danny, as the newest member of the band there, a new album coming out, Unfinished Business. Tell us a little bit about, joining the phenomenon of this group and a little bit about what we can expect on this new record.
Oh, man, it's been a blast. For the few years that I've been in here, Keith and Kevon have opened their arms to me. And, they've just been coaching me through because, of course, I came from, the working musician background or whatever, which is totally different from the big times. So, now it's just kind of like, okay, straighten up and fly right kind of thing. You know what I mean? But we got into the studio. We started recording. The process was amazing. It was full of positive energy. Everybody really wanted it. Everybody had the intention of, giving the best performance, the best record ever. And I believe that's what we did. And we did it with style to the point where a lot of people are enjoying what's come of it, and we can't wait for it to come out on the 20th for everybody to really feel what we're doing.
Oh, exactly. You know, Bittersweet already out now. The new album is going to be dropping. You guys have a tour. You guys are stopping in Chicago. We also got the Black Women Expo, which you guys will be at as well too. So this is, you know, especially, you know, a gift here for Chicago. And, you know, what's it like to be able to, you know, prep the songs and be able to come out for live audiences?
There's a nervousness, I'll tell you, to be honest with you. There's a certain level of nervousness, but it's a good nervous energy to get back out there on the road and to be prepared to step before an audience who is as anxious and I think eager and hungry to see performances as we are to perform. So there's a great exchange of energy between the house and us when we step on the stage. I've always been one to believe that when we step on stage, we are there for the audience. The audience is not there for them. So that process of giving something, that cycle starts with us. It doesn't start with them applauding us. It starts with us pouring out who we are and what we're about to them. And if we do it the right way, it comes back to us, and that's when that cycle begins. And so it's just really, really an exciting time to come back out here finally after all of this waiting, and to know that in that time frame that we were fortunate enough to go back into the studio and record some really special music. Music we all felt at the time was going to speak to people who were hurting, people who were going through things, people who just needed to hear a positive something. And we felt so fortunate and grateful to be the ones who had that opportunity to record during that time, because here we are and we're about to roll this record out. And it's a special product. It really, really is. I loved our Timeless record. But this record, Unfinished Business, is really, really special. And I think and hope and believe that our fans are going to receive it in that way too as well.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's the classics, you know, sound of After 7 that you love, and also, you know, a little bit of twist that is going to get, you know, some of the newer fans. Because, you know, when I was a kid, you know, obviously I was, you know, 10, 11 years old when the first album came out, and I was like the cool person because I was the young one who was like, here's all the new hits. Now I'm somebody's uncle. Like, whose uncle made this mixtape? Because I'm playing all those hits still.
Yeah.
Kevon, I want to go ahead and ask you, you know, as well too. You know, your brother Babyface. I think between the music that you've created and he's created, we wouldn't have half the population in America if neither of you made any records. Yeah, I mean, you do.
Yeah, we're responsible. We're responsible.
Yeah, take the responsibility. You know, it's a good thing. To talk a little bit about the magic of, you know, how you guys were raised, or, you know, that it's energy to kind of create these songs that just meant so much to so many people around the world.
Wow, that is really crazy, I guess, because, you know, growing up in our household, a family of 6 boys. And 6 boys in a house of 3 bedrooms, a mother and father. Of course, there was 3 to a room, you know, and it was just something. I know Kenny, when Kenny started getting involved in music, my brother Melvin, my late brother Melvin was the one who really brought the idea of live music and performance to the household. Now, there was always music playing because my father and mother both appreciated music, but Melvin took it a step further in that, you know, he wanted to be in a band. And so he was. So he had a band at the age of 16. He was the front man of a band. So we were seeing that for the first time. And so Kenny, who was an extremely shy and quiet guy, didn't talk a lot, but he was, I guess these little poems, I called them little love letters. As a big brother, you know, I had to be a big brother and tease him about his little love letters or whatever that was he was doing. And those love letters turned into songs that, you know, that spoke, you know, maybe he said the things that he couldn't say, you know, and that started that whole process. And, you know, as he got older, he stuck with it. It was, music was his voice from a guy who didn't speak much. Music became his voice. That was his vehicle to express what he felt. And he never let go of it is what it was. He just continued to nurture it, and he got better with it. You know, when you talk about 10,000 hours, if you put 10,000 hours in, you know, you're prepared, or you're ready to take on whatever it is that you're doing. You're qualified, if you will. So he's had more than 10,000 hours of writing great songs. We've always been a supporter of his, but those love songs, it used to be back in the day we were getting started. Some of the guys would say, nobody wants any of those waterfall songs, those love songs are trippy. But look what those songs turned around and did. And we've been some of the benefactors of those kinds of wonderful songs that speak to the matters of the heart, that talk about love and relationships, and, you know, the pitfalls and the hardships and the joys of it all. We get to be the storytellers through song as a result of someone who was a shy guy, but used a pen to express himself back when, and now he's a songwriter Hall of Famer, you know, and we, as a result of him being our little brother, and he better write for us. No, I'm teasing, but anyway, we got to get the benefit of one of the great songwriters of our times, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like if he wasn't, you know, nourished and encouraged, you know, to continue his poetry, we would have no, you know, Whip Appeal, no Ready or Not, no Two Occasions, like all those songs that people, End of the Road, you know, I can be here for 3 hours naming all the songs, but, you know, those are all the things that, you know, mean so much to so many people.
Absolutely.
And August 20th, the new album, go ahead and check it out, Unfinished Business. You guys are the best. This was such an honor to be chatting with you guys. I've loved you ever since I was a kid, and I'm so excited for the new album to come out. New album, August 20th. You guys are coming to the Black Women Expo in Chicagoland coming up soon. You guys are going on tour, so plenty of chances to go ahead and check them out. And best of luck with the new album.